TechTown has been around now 15 years?
We just had our
15?
15th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm looking at this space here that we're standing. Explain what we're looking at.
Absolutely. So about 5-6 years ago, we blew open the first floor of TechTown, which is a old General Motors building. It's where the first Corvette was built for the 1953 Futurama.
Super cool.
And we created a public event and co-working space. So we have 13 conference rooms of varying shapes and sizes. You can get 180 people in if you want to have a big event. And then we have co-working, which is 5-6 years ago, no one knew what that was. Now, of course, everyone knows what co-working is. But we have about 450 members here. We are jammed, and they are all focused on Detroit. WeWork's actually opening up across the street. We actually called them and said, won't you come and move into our neighborhood? And people said, is that competition? I said, absolutely not. Because if you have offices and customers in Detroit and Tel Aviv and New York, you should go to WeWork. But if you're focused on Detroit, you should be here.
Come to us.
And that's who these folks are.
So a business incubator, I remember biosciences where I had a lab upstairs starting years ago when we first started talking about TechTown. Where are we now in terms of the services and all kinds of businesses that you're helping and incubating here?
Absolutely. So we started with a focus on the life sciences, coming out of the university that does about 2/3 of its research in the health sciences, and Henry Ford Health System. We very quickly expanded beyond that into other tech, and now we realized about 7 or 8 years ago that the same process you use to help a tech business helps somebody start a restaurant or a coffee shop or a gift store, retail, light services, a barber shop. And so we're all over the city of Detroit. We're working in 7 different neighborhoods along commercial corridors, helping to bring jobs and opportunity, but also amenities to current residents in those neighborhoods. So we started with life sciences, but it's so much more. But I'll say this, we're still good at that. We still know tech. So the Accelerate Michigan competition was last week. This is the biggest tech competition in the world. They give $1 million in prizes. Both the first place and third place finishers were clients of ours.
Really? What clients were they?
Now you're going to get me in trouble,
No,
not being able to name all my
That's
kids.
That's okay. But talk to me about, in the last 5 years, so many people have talked about starting new businesses in Detroit and that it is a place ripe for that kind of entrepreneurship. What businesses are you seeing more and more of coming through here and looking for help?
So obviously we see a lot of mobility. I think Detroit is going to be the center of sort of the connected and autonomous world. So we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of related fields. So things like cybersecurity. We're seeing technology around water and financial tech. People think of Detroit, they think of cars, but our second biggest employer in Quicken is a financial technology firm. So we're seeing a lot of that. And on the other side, we're seeing people open up restaurants, coffee shops, and then a lot of services, barber shops, cleaning services, things like that, because they're things that are really market driven, that there's needs for it.
And so what is it like for a lot of people to come in here to be able to network, really? You end up seeing people with other businesses and other different things, and how do you think that has changed the way people are doing business around here by using a place like TechTown?
So one of the reasons why we built this sort of public space, and everything here is public, so everybody come on down, we want you here, that was intentional, because we wanted to create a critical mass where you are going to bump into someone every time you're here. One of our tenants upstairs says, coming to TechTown is like a networking event every day. And it's true, because every time I have a meeting sitting out in the co-working space, I end up introducing someone to someone else that they should meet, who becomes a funder, a partner, an employee, a client, or some other relationship that's mutually beneficial for both of them.
All right, so what's next? What are we looking at down the road in about a year or so?
Well, we're all about removing barriers. We just started a program called Start Studio, which we took a look at the tech ecosystem and said, what are the barriers for Detroiters to get access to it? And we discovered things like they meet during the day. You can't bring your kids. There might be downtown where parking is expensive. You might need a college degree. So we created Start Studio to remove those barriers. We did it at night and on weekends. Parking is free, bring your kids. And we ended up having a first cohort, 90% people of color, 50% women, all tech and tech-enabled ideas, 40% over the age of 40, 20% over the age of 55. So we're going to, that was a pilot. We're going to expand on that now because we found out some things that really work. And the next step is one of the barriers is transportation. So we want to get out into the neighborhoods more. We're already working in some of those neighborhoods, but we want to create neighborhood workspaces where people can get access to innovation and entrepreneurship services right near their own homes.
Inclusion has to be deliberate.
Absolutely. There's a reason why we're always on the national best practices list of inclusion and diversity and economic development. And the reason why is we actually want to be. We're intentional about the community that we serve and making sure that everyone there is getting access.
All right, congrats on 15 years. We can't wait for the next 15 and more.
Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Christy.
Ned. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.